minutes, February 2nd, 2019 meeting minutes. Boy Scout Troop 11 donation acceptance of $106.75. Poll licenses on Calawa Circle. On accounts payable manifest February 5th of $1,831,019.02. And February 12th of $120,281.13. We have a payroll manifest February 7th of $50,594.59 and February 14th of $52,182.31. Are there any items that members would like removed from the consent calendar? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to approve.
So
Moved by Mr. Bork.
second.
Seconded by Mr. Brunel. Discussion. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 4-0-0. Mr. Weber is out of town on business tonight, by the way, so he will not be joining us. Are there any other items that members would like to have added to the agenda for tonight? Okay, we just wanted to let people know public input will occur no earlier than 6:15 p.m. And under regular business, the first order of business, we would like to recognize the Chief of Police, Captain Sergeant, and they are recommending that Mr. Thomas Scotti be hired as a full-time probationary police officer. Chief?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can have your stand right here.
Should we make the motion first?
I think we need, that's a
Let's
good
make the
point.
motion.
Is there a motion from the
So
board to,
I'll move.
that would be good.
I'll move to appoint Thomas Scotti as a full-time probationary police officer as recommended by Chief O'Brien.
Moved by Mr. Brunel, seconded by Mr. Schaefer. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 4-0-0.
Raise your right hand. I, Thomas Scotti, do solemnly swear
I, Thomas Scotti, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all the duties
discharge and perform all the duties
incumbent on me
incumbent upon me
as a full-time probationary police officer
as a full-time probationary police officer
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities.
agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
Agreeably
to the rules and
to the rules
regulations
and regulations
of the
of the
Constitution
Constitution
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
We'll give it to Daddy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Welcome aboard.
Let me guess, there's cake and goodies next door.
There's a whole bunch to be got.
We had to schedule this so it's at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Our board, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome, Tom, and welcome to
Thank you.
your family.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much for coming.
glad to see you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. We have light refreshments in the police department.
Thank you so much.
Invite your family and friends and citizens.
That's awesome.
Chief, you'll take care of him
Aye.
being sworn in and notarized.
Thank you. Send it back. The chief.
Wow.
Yeah, you can close it, please. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, now the next item, I don't have the exact wording on the public hearing, Troy. Do you have that?
I just, all I did was
put the
Okay.
PowerPoint, but just really just call it to order as a public
Okay,
hearing.
what we will do right now is convene a public hearing as the board has placed the adoption of Keno for the town in 5 or 6, establishments that are certified or are eligible to have them. So the board is holding its first public hearing to accept input as to how the town feels about putting this on the warrant or passage of it and allowing Keno for the town. So if you'd like to speak, please come up to the microphone, identify yourself, and other than that, no? Okay.
I think it's just important to note for those that are watching at home
Okay.
that this hearing here was called together fairly quickly. We did try to get notice out through our website. We were able to get some print in the Hudson Litchfield News. But this is a result of action taken at deliberative session where the citizens asked to have 2 public hearings. This one here is a local public hearing. The second one we've scheduled and have provided public notice will be Monday, February 25th, 6 o'clock right here at Selectmen's meeting. That one is required by state law. So that will be more of our, both hearings are official. It's just that is the one will be recognized by the state.
And I might take a second for the people at home. The commission or selling bonus establishments that do operate Keno earn an 8% commission on every dollar sold for the Keno 603 game. And apparently that's the highest commission in the United States. They earn a bonus for selling a Keno 603 prize of $10,000 or greater, equal to 1% of the prize, capped at $75,000. For other lottery products, retailers receive 5% commission on every dollar sold, along with a 1% cashing bonus on scratch tickets, fast play, yada, yada. The opportunity for double bonus of additional 5% on increased sales on traditional lottery product year over year. Estimated revenue projections, I believe, I will just tell you what the state estimates if it goes statewide, is that they have an estimate of $8,472,500 net revenue to the Education Trust Fund. The funds for kindergarten, the Department of Education calculates and distributes the grant of $1,100 per pupil enrolled in an approved program to each eligible school district. And Senate Bill 191, Section 198:48C has detailed information regarding the process for grants and distribution.
Yeah.
The local legislative body must vote to place the question on the warrant for municipal election, or it can be added via citizen petition of 25 registered voter signatures or 2% of the registered voters. The local legislative body holds a public hearing on the question 15 to 30 days before municipal election and posts notice in 2 public places and a newspaper at least 7 days before. And the wording of the question, which is on the warrant, is shall we allow the operation of Keno games within the town of Litchfield? I don't know that I have any additional information on that, but certainly if there's anything that you'd like us to share anymore, please, we'd be happy to do that.
I think there's just a couple other good points to point out that the Keno revenue, the tickets, the sales that are made in Litchfield, all those revenues go to the state.
Right.
There is then a formula that's used where it's distributed back to all the communities with full-time kindergarten. A lot of people seem to think that if we adopt Keno in Litchfield, all the revenue will stay here in Litchfield towards Litchfield's kindergarten program. And that's not the way it works. Whether we have Keno or not, revenue is collected throughout the state and it's distributed back to all the towns with kindergarten. And the establishments that would be allowed to operate currently right now in the town of Litchfield, you must have a liquor license or a pouring license. So only those establishments, only those businesses are allowed to operate the sale of Keno. So I know that sometimes I've heard people concerned about maybe that because of this activity would be going on in restaurants where they're serving alcohol. You need to understand that there are laws and regulations that these establishments have in regards of serving liquor. And they could lose that license if they were, to serve someone too much alcohol. So they'd lose their license to sell alcohol, but also the ability to sell Keno. The places currently right now in the town of Litchfield that could apply, again, it's up to a state inspection for final approval, would be Hidden Creek Country Club, the Lobster Boat Restaurant, Mel's Diner, Mel's Funway Park, Passaconaway Country Club, and Romano's Pizza. Those are establishments that we have in town today that have the proper liquor license, and they could apply to the state to sell Keno.
Okay. Any questions for members of the board? Any questions from you? Okay. I will close the public hearing on Keno. And at this point, I might as well open public input section at 6:19 p.m. Is there anyone here that would like to offer public input? Seeing none, hearing none, I will close the public input section. And we'll go on to item 3, Fire Department grant approval. Mr. Brown.
All right, I probably worded this incorrectly on the agenda, but what we're looking for this evening is the board's support for the fire department to acquire a forestry truck through the New Hampshire State Forestry Program. So essentially what's happened is we have a forestry truck today. It's about 43 years old. It's owned by the state of New Hampshire.
It's my age.
And the fire department has learned that there's another surplus vehicle available. And it would obviously be a lot more modern, but there's a lot of benefits to it just because it's so new. And it's an automatic transmission, which is going to make it a lot easier to operate. The vehicle they have today, it's very difficult to get parts for it. They sometimes have to get parts made. So what's going to happen is if Litchfield is selected within the next 14 days, the town will have to go collect this vehicle. It's down, I believe, in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. We have a local business here that's donated their time and equipment to go down, transport the vehicle back here. And the only cost that we're looking at right now to the town would be if we decide, obviously it's military color, but we would paint it, which is estimated around $7,500, $8,000, and about another $2,000 to do the equipment changeover from the old truck to the new. So the truck that we would be acquiring is a 1997 Stewart Stevenson. It's a 5-ton 6x6 cab. It's a military vehicle. It's been described to me as a tank on wheels. And the department's very excited about it. It only has 8,500 miles. As I said, it's an automatic transmission. It's got a Caterpillar diesel engine, so it's all something that they can service. And will be a really nice addition to the department.
The one they have now, this is how old it is. I drove it back from Bear Brook State Park.
Oh, is that where you got it?
That's pretty old.
Hey. Gentlemen, any questions, or if you have any?
Just clarification. So it's $10,000 in cost to get it ready for service. Is that coming out of that? I'm assuming that's coming out of the existing budget, no extra.
The chief is planning on taking that out of his operating budget, and that's why I said, they may tackle the painting of the vehicle in pieces.
Sure.
They may not jump right into painting. I think they may, he was explaining today how they could either go out and paint the whole thing, or maybe they just work on the utility body part of it, get that painted, get the equipment mounted on.
And the cab later.
Yeah. There's no big rush to
My feeling is you're gonna do it, just do it.
Well, I,
Oh, right.
I think,
Yeah,
I think
correct.
he's leaning in that direction, but he also cautioned that, there's,
And
you could do this in several
Private right
steps.
to warrants and.
the unfortunate part, well, I mean, the other one is older anyway, but, it's had to have stayed outside all this time. And, I can imagine what condition it's in because of being outside.
Even at $10,000, if the town spends that
Oh, my
money,
God. A
that
1997?
is an absolute steal
Yeah.
for
I
the town.
totally agree.
Those trucks can roll over a 6-inch tree, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They can push
Oh,
them
we
right over.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
6
I
inch.
do.
Jeff, what do you think? 8, 10-inch?
Oh, yeah.
Put
yeah.
deputy behind the wheel of that
And
thing
it's-
and.
and the other-
We don't want repair costs
Well, the
now.
other great thing is too, that the chief pointed out to me is that under the old program, the forestry truck we have today, it's still state property.
Yeah, it is.
So we're obligated to maintain it. They come down, they inspect it once a year.
Right.
Under this new program, I guess it remains state property for 1 year.
Then it's an outright
Then it
grant.
becomes our prop.
So is the old one going away?
The old one will go back to
We'll
the
go
state.
back to the state.
Yeah, has to go back to the state.
They're gonna do it.
Gentlemen, do you have a motion or any further questions? Or-
I'd like to make the motion.
Okay, Mr. Schaefer.
I move to support the fire department's effort to acquire a forestry truck through the New Hampshire State Forestry FPP program.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Schaefer, seconded by Mr. Brunel. Is there any further discussion or questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 400. Okay. Fire impact fees encumbrance, Mr. Brown.
So we're coming to the end of the fire station project and we're still, seeing some certain needs in regards to the construction, technology, furniture and fixtures, communication, all those types of things are involved in a new building. And as you recall, when we worked together, reducing the cost of the building from $5-something million down to the 3.7, we all agree that there'd be other pots of money that we could use to help with this project. So at this point in time, I wanted to come to the board, at least get these impact fees encumbered towards, towards just some of the construction stuff that's going on. But furniture and fixtures, technology, we cut back the technology budget a lot. So we've got some work to do there. And landscaping was eliminated from the budget. So, I mean, we're going to get green grass, but as far as any shrubs, we got some work to do around the Bergeron Memorial that we promised the family would try to tie that in. to
Right,
the
we did.
landscaping plan.
Talked about this before, and the
Right.
family was rightfully so. They were concerned, and we did promise them that we'd keep the memorial.
So at this time, I just wanted to have authorization to use these impact fee funds for those types of costs. I may come back to you in another 3 months if, we collect more impact fees.
Right, and this was not new. We discussed this several times.
Well, in the case of the fire impact, this is the only thing we can use it for anyway.
Right.
Right, so we're building a new building,
Yeah.
it's all new services.
Okay, gentlemen, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move to encumber $17,655.84 from the fire impact fees for expenses related to the construction of the new fire station building, to include but not limited to general construction, furniture and fixtures, technology and communications hardware and software, and landscaping.
You have all that?
It's a mouthful.
Okay, moved by Mr. Brunel,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Schaefer. Is there further discussion, questions, or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I meant to say aye. Just so you know.
I'm sorry?
I didn't say aye, but I'm saying aye to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Abstain?
Abstain.
No, so you
No,
are
I'm
voting
saying-
yes.
no.
Oh.
I'm saying aye.
Okay, motion carries 400. Okay. Purchase order approval, door control access for the town hall. Mr. Brown, what do we have here? What happened here? Or Mr. Brunel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can talk to it. So at the end of the year, we encumbered some dollars to address several different needs within the town itself, the town side. One of the projects was to replace our 20-year-old door system that controls the police department. But on top of that, add additional doors for control access in the rest of the town hall. In the new fire station, we put a whole new system in. And so what we're doing is actually adding on to that system over here. So we're taking our investment there, we're expanding it into here and getting.
Oh, this is what you talked to us about when we come. Okay,
Yep.
I get
So
it.
this is one small part of that project.
All right.
So
Okay.
we have a proposal. So in concept, we've already agreed to doing it. We have a proposal.
Correct.
And because of the dollar amount, I need approval from the board to enter the contract. So
Okay.
the total project, and again, this is then it's in the scope. All the existing control doors in the police department will be all replaced and updated, plus all the control keys and all the physical wiring. We're adding 2 additional doors on the town hall side, so the employee entrance will be key fobbed also, plus also the interior door that goes into the main hallway will be. So from a control point, we'll actually have better knowledge of who comes and goes out of the town hall. There won't be a need for a physical key anymore.
And it's a security
security thing.
issue too. Okay.
Additionally, we're putting in additional controls on the police department side to allow them to have better access controls over the Sallyport doors and the vestibule doors that we have here too. So the estimate of the project is $25,495.90, which was in the estimate that I originally calculated the need for. So I'm asking for approval to proceed with the PO and.
Okay.
We also,
Questions?
and you'll see we have to waive a section of the purchasing policy because we really need to stay with this one particular vendor.
Well, it's a sole source.
It's a sole source.
Right, and that's allowed under policy. Right. Gentlemen, questions? Comments? Okay, is there a motion?
I move to approve a $25,495.90 purchase order to install door access control system upgrades for the police station and town office and waive section 3C of the purchasing policy.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schaefer, seconded by Mr. Bork. Questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
Motion carries 301 with one abstention. Okay. Mr. Brown, Administrator reports.
Okay. Just wanted to follow up on a conversation we had at our last meeting about Avatar. Avatar is our contracted assessing company, and they had sent correspondence to this board informing us that they would be sending out letters in advance to all the homeowners before they started the update process. And there was some questions the board had about why we couldn't combine this notice into the initial mailing. And I guess I should have known the answer to this, but when I called Avatar, they said, well, that's, really what's driving this. In the past, we just don't send any notice out to the residents, and we just show up. So I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that. And he said, yeah, we show up, and if they're there, we knock on the door, we talk to them, explain who we are, why we're here, and ask if we can have permission to inspect their property. If they refuse, that's fine. It's optional. If no one's at the property, we leave a door hanger on the door indicating that we've been there and to call us and schedule an appointment. So this process now will be that we send a letter out explaining that their property's been selected for an annual review. And then there'll be information about who they are, why it's being done, that if they want to schedule an appointment. So
I think the property owner will be a lot more appreciative of that process than
I agree.
the knock on the door.
And the cost, that was the other question the board had. The cost is estimated somewhere around $1,000, which is basically postage, and they're going to do their the mailing in-house. So there's a little bit of administrative cost, but it's about $1,000 to be able to notify by direct mail all the homeowners that are selected this year for an inspection.
Excellent.
Want to let you know that Nashua Regional Planning Commission, they have an annual forum every year over at the courtyard at the Marriott. Sometimes we've had some selectmen have interest in attending. If you're interested in this one, it's on February 21st. And the forum is going to be about transportation in the state of New Hampshire.
Are you going to go?
I'm thinking about going to this one.
I got
the commissioner is
card.
going to be there. And did you get the card?
I did get a
Okay,
card.
'cause some
And,
came here, and then some I think got mailed to your
yeah, it
house.
was sent to me, you know.
I got one too.
Did you?
Yeah, I think all the selectmen get one, right?
Mhm.
I may be interested in going. I'd like to learn about the transportation, especially if they're going to be talking about the rail, commuter rail, and any transportation infrastructure improvements.
Okay. So, Brent and I can communicate. Anybody else interested, let us know.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure we get registered. Let you know we started last week. I'm not sure how much progress was made, but they did start installing the heating equipment in the dog kennel last week. We were working with the propane company trying to get, figure out where the tanks would be placed and getting those ordered. So as of right now, I think it's still a work in progress, but it has started. I've had no issues, no one calling from town hall telling me that it's 32 degrees. So I'm assuming all that's working out fine as well. And our company has all the information they need to begin pricing out what it will cost to replace that system down there at town
Great.
hall. I think you're aware that I have been asked by our Dave Mellon, the solid waste recycling facility director. He has some fees that he wants adjusted. So I've reached out to all department heads, just letting them know that we're going to go through a formal update of the fee schedule. This would be a good time if they have fees they'd like changed, that we do that. When you establish fees in town or you update your fees, there is a public hearing notice requirement in the newspaper, 2 public places, 15-day notice, I think. So it's a formal process. And I'm just kind of wrapping up some things and going to be dedicating, hopefully, the end of this week and the early part of next week to working on the voter guide. So the goal is right now to have the voter guide completed by the mid next week. So I'd like to have you folks, I'll share the link and welcome to give me input and stuff. Again, the voter guide is information. We try to just make sure the information there, not really try to take a position one way or the other. But I think that with the petition articles, it's a little bit different this year, where we've been on record not recommending those articles. And I do believe my approach is that we're going to be talking, explaining some of the points that we raised at deliberative.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the direction I'm going in. I want to make sure you're all comfortable with that.
I am, just as long as council is.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And I've spoken to Chairman Lemire, but school vacation week, never off school vacation week, but this year, the last week of February, I'm going to be away on vacation. So the goal is to get the voter guide done, off to the printers. So it's all in the works, all ready to go in the newspapers.
And we don't expect, I was talking to Troy, I don't expect that February 25th meeting to have anything more on the agenda other than approving
The
the
keynote.
accounts payable and the keynote hearing. So because it is, school vacation week, and I understand. And so that's what we'll hold everything off till you get back,
Yep,
or
try to-
do it before you
I'll
go.
try to manage the agenda as much as possible. And then our next meeting, March the 11th, that night, we do the Pat Jewett award ceremony.
Yep.
So we'll start our meeting at 6, try to wrap up at 7, and
Yep.
the ceremony will start at 7.
And the elections are March 12th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Campbell High School. Town voting, it's town and school district elections. Of course, I jumped ahead on all of this stuff, but that's all right. Okay, are you all set?
I'm all set.
Okay, Mr. Brunel, Selectmen reports.
Just that the school deliberative happened last weekend. Nothing major to report. So we're all good.
Okay, we're supposed to have a Heritage meeting tomorrow night.
It was a lucky guess.
Holy mackerel. But I, with the weather prediction, I'm not sure, but we're due to, it's scheduled. We'll see what happens. Mr. Bohr?
Oh,
Mr. Shea?
We have a rec commission meeting tomorrow night. So again, with the weather, they might have canceled as well. So That's it.
I get snow coming down.
There were no items removed from consent, and there is no other business other than, Mr. Bohr, in your, I knew that you couldn't be present at deliberative. We have a little, since you are leaving the board, we have a little presentation for you in appreciation for the time you spent serving the townspeople. And I'm privileged to present this to you, young man. Presented to Kevin Bork in recognition for 6 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Litchfield. Litchfield Board of Selectmen, February 2nd, 2019. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And thank you.
Thank you, Troy. I will say just really quick, it's been a great 6 years for me. I definitely want to say thank you to, the people who put me here. I would not have been here without the voters. But, after 6 years, definitely time to move on, step aside and let somebody else sit in this chair. I got some things that I want to move on as far as myself, as far as further in my career. So I just think it's a great time. And whoever does take my seat, I wish them the best. So, again, thank you to all the voters. And it was a pleasure working with all you guys. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other business to come before this body this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Brunel, seconded by Mr. Schaefer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 400. Thank you all. We will see you, next regular meeting is February 25th.